episode 3. We're going to call this one Mission Control. And it's your boy Icon with another DC Japanese animated TV review. And for the love of God, I hope y'all watched the end credits to see Amanda Waller do her thing while putting it down on the dance floor. So let's get started. Before we get started, though, hit the notification bell, like and or subscribe to my YouTube channel. And let's get started with a little squad up action. So in this particular episode now, the Suicide Squad has been brought before the Queen. So, you know, because in the last episode, like, they had taken over the prison, and then Cecil showed up, and then, like, there was a moment where Rick Flag was trying to talk to him, but he didn't know the language, but he knew some of the language, and the stuff that he knew was basically, like, insult words, so he was pissing the guy off, but eventually he was able to get through to him, and because the princess had asked him to bring the Suicide Squad members to the castle, he brought them to the castle. So he brings them before the Queen, and then the Queen used her magic to basically do a translation spell that made it so that everybody can understand each other. So now we're all able to understand each other. And while we're talking to each other, basically the Suicide Squad was like, look, you know, we're here to do a mission. And we find out what the mission was thanks to Rick Flag. What had happened was Amanda Waller had already sent a previous team of Suicide Squatters into the portal. And the Queen's guard, they're fighting against something called the Empire. They're going one-on-one against the Empire. The problem is when the first Suicide Squad came in through the portal, they all decided to go for Dolo, and they joined the Empire, and they're actually helping the Empire take down the Queen and like all her people. So Amanda Waller sent this current group of Suicide Squad people to go retrieve the original group of people. And then that's when Harley was like, okay, I get it now. So we're basically here to clean up Waller's mess, which is always the case with the Wall. So then, they told the Queen, they're like, listen, we can help you. Like, we can be an asset. We can clean up our mess and bring the people who's helping your enemies, we can bring them to justice. And then the Queen was like, okay, I'll give you a chance to redeem yourselves. However, she said that we're going to keep Rick Flag. The rest of you are going to go stop, your people and stop the Empire from doing whatever it is that they're doing. And if you don't do it by a certain amount of time, we're going to chop off Rick Flag's head. So they dragged Rick away, and then Rick was like, yeah, better save me, because remember, the bomb goes off in like less than 58 hours, whatever, because that's still a thing. And now the Suicide Squad is off to go stop one of the guards. Now, we don't know how many guards are AKA original Suicide Squad members. Because there's 5 members of the Suicide Squad here, I'm going to assume there's 5 rogue Suicide Squad members. So there's a castle that they had taken over that belonged to the Queen. So the Suicide Squad, along with the rest of like the soldiers, they go to that castle. When they get to the castle, the soldiers are just like the head guy, like Cecil, he's just like, oh, you stay here, don't help us, we don't need your help, we can do this by ourselves. And they're just like, bullshit. So then while they're watching, they're basically watching from a distance, and then while they're watching, Harley's looking, because they're fighting like the wolf creatures, and like the army, like they're going against the wolf creatures or whatever, and then Harley's looking at them, and then she's just like, they're being mind controlled, right? And she said, look at them. She said that the way some of them are moving, the way some of them aren't, the way some of them are standing there like dazed, just waiting for instructions. She said, that's mind control. She's like, I know mind control when I see it. So then after that, they end up sneaking around back, and they go behind the castle. They get into the castle, and when they get to the castle, that's when Deadshot said he thinks he knows who the first, rogue agent was, the first rogue squad agent was. And when he gets to the top of the castle, when they all get to the top of the castle, his suspicions were true, because the very first person who's the very first rogue Suicide Squad member that we meet and the first person that we take down happens to be the Ratcatcher. And that sparked a montage where when Deadshot saw him, he was like, yo, Rat, it's me, your boy Deadshot. And then they did a montage of when the two of them were in prison together, and Deadshot did what he thought was looking out for Ratcatcher, where he was basically like taking his real food and giving him cheese instead of letting him watch videos with sexy women in it. He was having him watch videos with like rats in it. He took the rat thing a little bit too far, and the Ratcatcher wasn't happy about it. He actually felt like he was being bullied. So when he saw Deadshot, and Deadshot was like, hey, my boy Ratcatcher, like, what's going on, bro? Ratcatcher got mad and tried to kill him. So he basically, and then that's when they realized, because Clayface had said, because he told them, he said, don't you guys understand that our power is like magnified here? He said that my powers are stronger here, but the problem is because there's not enough moisture in the air, I'm limited to what I can do. And then Harley thought back to, you know, the previous night when she was in the prison, how when she picked up one of the mallets, she started glowing pink and her power increased. So they were just like, yeah, he's right, you know. But that goes for the villains as well, because the rat catcher, his powers, because he even said, Deadshot was like, I thought your power only worked on rats, but because he's in this new magical realm, it amplified his power to the point where now he can control any animal whatsoever. I'm surprised he didn't control King Shark. That actually threw me off. But he's able to control like the pigs and like the wolves and everything, and he was sicking them on the Suicide Squad. So the Suicide Squad killed them all. They took them all down, and then Peacemaker flat out was like, yo, fuck it, we need to kill the rat catcher. He actually fired a bullet at the rat catcher to blow his brains out. And right before he killed the rat catcher, Katana shows up and she knocks the bullet out of the way. She grabs the rat catcher and then she runs off with him. And then after that, then the soldiers show up, and then Cecil shows up, and he's like, oh, how dare you? We told you not to interfere in such things that don't concern you. And then they were just like, yeah, you're welcome. We stopped the rat catcher, we killed the wolves, and you can have your castle back. He was like, oh, but the castle belonged to the queen. And he said, we planned on taking it back in one piece, and you've all destroyed it. Because in order for them to defeat them, they ended up having to blow up the top tower of the castle, which is where all the water was being held, so Clayface can use it to amplify his power. And they're just like, a little glue, a little turpentine. He'll be all right. So like he's pissed, and then the Suicide Squad walks off into the sunset. And then the princess, she watched all this through a magical teleportal, and then she was just like, oh, I knew these people could help save our world. And it's just me, or does the princess actually look like Harley? So I feel like there's going to be a point where Harley and the princess switch places, a la the Prince and the Pauper, and that's going to be some crazy ass shit when that happens, that actually goes down. And then Katana, she was talking to the rat catcher. They were in a cave, and then she was just like, oh, I saved you this once. But she was, I don't know if she's working for the Empire. Is she secretly doing a Waller's bidding, or I don't know what the deal is, but that's the only thing I was a little confused about. But as far as like where the allegiance of Katana lies, but I guess we're not going to find that out just yet. That's how the episode ended, and thank you for tuning in. So I do have to say I am enjoying it. You know, like I said, the monologues from Clayface get a little annoying, but I actually am enjoying it because it's a typical Suicide Squad adventure where Amanda Waller does some shit, she fucks some shit up, and now because of the buffoonage that Amanda Waller did, she brings in the Suicide Squad to help clean up her own mess. So it's just, but it is interesting to see as the episodes progress, the other rogue members of the original team that got sent in, who these people are. But probably one of them, I guarantee you, the last one is going to be the Joker, because the Joker hasn't been seen in God knows how long. He's in the credits, so if he's in the opening credits, obviously he's going to come back at some point, and that's going to be a conflict with Harley. Like I said, but share your questions, comments, and or concerns down below, and we will continue to talk about it. What do you think of this particular episode 3 of Suicide Squad is Isekai? And like I said, we'll keep rolling on. Check me out on Twitter and on Instagram, always on X, and the TikTok. And like I said, we'll keep rolling. I don't know how many episodes we're getting. I don't even know when these episodes debut. Like, I don't know anything, but I'm looking forward to seeing it unfold, because like I said, it's a pretty cool show, and I'm definitely enjoying it, despite the fact that I got to read the subtitles. So that's it, guys. So thanks for tuning in. So until next time, for some more action, look out for the rats as they come through the rafters.